Yeah, welcome back to the Firehouse for some more Firehouse reasoning. Before we kick off tonight, I've been asked to say a few things about emotion. You know, our emotions. I would say the emotion is like you could link it to either a river or a sea that one have to swim across, if you know what I mean. And because one can easily be swept away by one emotion, you know what I mean. Lots of people are swept away by the emotions, the current of the emotional stream, simply because they have not figured out that they are swimmers, if you understand what I mean. And emotion covers such a wide river that you cannot name the different currents that can drag one away. You know what I mean? All kind of things could happen. Maybe you might lose your mom on the way, or your dad, or your uncle, or cousin, or friend, you know. Or maybe somebody bump into you on the way, you know what I mean, or abuse you. I don't know what could have happened to you, you know, to now let you forget that you can swim and henceforth being carried away by the emotional feel, if you understand what I mean. But that does not mean that one cannot cross this emotional river successfully, you know what I mean. But you have to let go of your emotions then, if you know what I mean. Whatever these emotions are, obviously I don't know the many different things that make people get too over emotional, if you know what I mean. Because check it now, if you have a person that shows no emotion at all, then you know that something is wrong with this person, don't you? For sure. Just stone dead in it. But if you find another being now who is too emotional and is always emotional, you know something is wrong. So obviously the truth is lying in between these two, the position that we call balance, if you know what I mean. So one should not be too over emotional or be too afraid to show emotion, if you know what I mean, because you got it in it. Why would you want to hide it? If you know what I mean. The thing is, you must learn to balance your emotions. Well, you could even use emotions as the purpose for or the reason why people don't understand themselves. You could use it down, you could bring it down to the fact that they're failing to swim across or to swim in the river of emotion. You know what I mean? Or you can look at emotion as the feminine aspect within ourselves. Don't forget what I said before, you know, the feminine aspect is not only in the woman, it's in the man as well. You understand what I mean? So if a man wanted to be what I would call a full man, then he must recognize this and balance it with his which is maleness then, you know, or is what he would term his manliness. And if the females want to balance themselves, she's already have the feminine emotion, but she must get in touch with the manliness within her self to know herself fully. Otherwise, you're not a complete being. You know what I mean? You are pursuing yourself as a singularity, you know, as a feminine. You say, oh, I'm female, me, and the male is thinking that he is a man. That is idiotic thinking, you know what I mean? That is when I would say, well, like, because we're dealing with emotion, when one get carried away with their emotion carry them away. And when you're carried away by emotional thinking, then you can come up with all kind of crazy thinking. You know what I mean? And nothing ain't going to make you whole, like I say, until you know yourself. and to know yourself, you must learn this act of balancing your understanding your emotional self. I could say, if you want to call this emotional self feminine, you know what I mean, but whether you call it whatever you want, because it's in both male and female in it. You know, it hasn't got agenda. This river that you are swimming across, you know, the emotions that we feel in life, you know what I mean, is a sea that we swimming across. It hasn't got agenda. It's not a man or a woman sea, you know what I mean, and it's not personal to anyone. Everyone is have to go through the emotions of life. And everyone is feeling the effect of the emotion. But what I'm saying is now, you can be swept away by emotions where you lose all rationality. You see what I mean? And you even remember, like I'm telling you, that you can swim. You see? And because you get swept away and get drowned in by the currents of emotion, you get swept away down in emotion. Have a way of carrying people down into idiocy, where you cannot think rational. Something like how anger work. You know what I mean? Sweep you away very quickly because you are emotional. You cannot grasp reality. So, and if you hasn't got any emotion, you're too cold. So you won't grasp no reality either. You see what I mean? So we all have to deal with this emotion. But it is, how are you going to deal with your emotions? Whatever your emotions are, like I say, who knows what caused the emotion that one is suffering from? And if you know, emotion is like I would say it's a thing that will grow in you, and it might grow resentment and hate and all kind of other things might grow in you if you don't face this emotion and balance it properly. You know what I mean? I would like to say to anyone who is suffering from any emotion due to family, friends, whatever, just look at it this way. Whether you have any family or not, make no difference. You are here. Your family is not responsible for you anyway, as long as you are an adult. You are responsible for yourself. They don't own you, and you do not own them, do you? You are a free being. The purpose for your soul manifesting on the planet was for you to come here and understand who you are as a being. And all the emotional trauma that you have passed through in your life, that was part of your lesson that you had to go through to understand who you are. You know what I mean? Understanding who you are is not a pleasurable thing. So you have to go through all kind of emotion. You know what I mean? And feel all kind of things, if you know what I mean. Emotions like when you realize what is happening in the world and how wicked your fellow human being is. Oh, that can rile up all kind of emotion in one. You know what I mean? And you cannot be emotionless about such situation, can you? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. You have to learn how to balance your emotion and learn the lessons that your emotions are trying to teach you as well. Because everything in life is, there is a lesson in everything in life. You know what I mean? Who knows? You don't have to know the exact reason why you have to go through these things either, do you? All you want to know that, well, I'm alive, you know. I've been through these experiences. Can I learn anything from them? Which is worthwhile learning. And I'm saying, yes, anything that happened to you, you can learn something from it. Whether it's good or bad. What difference does that make? Just look at the emotional way as sometime calm, sometime rough, up and down. You know what I mean? That's how the emotional sea is. So if sometime you are having it rough or you've had it rough, abide in that, and when you have the good times, abide in that as well. Accept good and bad equally within thyself, so that you can create a balance. I'm not saying you must accept if somebody come and slap you in your face, you know, that you must accept such things. No, I'm not saying that. You can't just accept such things, you know what I mean? But I'm on about incident that happened in your life, you know. Maybe when you was growing up, maybe something your dad said or your mother said or those kind of things. If you are still holding on to those kind of emotional baggages, you should let go of them and move on. You know what I mean? So that you can understand what is currently happening here in life. You know what I mean? Because until you clear up these emotional baggages, you ain't going to understand what is happening currently in life, innit? Understand? You will still be bamboozled, like I say, watching the Pope Christmas speech. So many thousands in St. Peter's Square, listening to an idiot talk. He ain't a godly man, is it? Man is a devil. And so many, but why do so many people believe that he's, they can only believe that he's the Holy Father. They don't know. Because there is no Holy Father. Why would anyone want to be any holy? That's what I'm saying. These are just the ideas of idiots, carried away by their emotions. And that's exactly the reason still come back round to emotion when we come to examine devils and how devils operate. It is the current that drag you away. It's the current of these deceivers now, who play on the emotion by building elaborate building, singing elaborate song and dressing up in elaborate robes, you know, and performing elaborate rituals, playing on people's emotion, those who are emotionally weak. You know what I mean? Because they are vampires themselves. So, like I say, they like to suck on the energies of their fellow human being. You know what I mean? So they play on their emotions. Even in churches, especially like black churches, preach. You look at the congregation and see African churches. 80% of them is female. Because the emotion is stronger in the female. So they like to play on that. And they can easily drag off the female into this emotional, whip them up, say, emotionally. But the whipping up people with emotion is not the truth, is it? And if you are whipping up people's emotion, or if you need to do so, that means that you are a liar, or you are a deceiver. Only deceivers would want to whip up someone's emotion, you know, play on it with, like I say, with elaborate rituals that make no sense whatsoever and has got nothing to do with God. You know what I mean? These are what I say, and this is how ungodly people behave. It's not difficult for the what I call the soldiers of God to spot the vampires, because the vampires are pretending to be God people anyway. You know what I mean? All we have to do is unmask them, that they're not, and that is it. They are exposed, which, like I tell you, they are not. I am so certain that, like I say, I'm willing to bet my soul that none of the priests on the planet, or the imams, or the rabbis, know God. I bet my soul against it. See what I mean? And I know that I am about 300,000 billion trillion % certain to win. How could I be so certain that I'm going to win? And none of them in the religious establishment, no priest, could be a God man. How? Because if he was, he could never be in organized religion. Because if he was a God man, he would have to speak from the heart and tell them the truth, and they would throw him out. He could not be amongst them. So anyone who chooses to be amongst them don't know what they're talking about. That's why I'm willing to bet my soul against it. And I know that I must win. So that's why I say any man who is a priest is a devil man, or a hypocrite, masquerading, talking about things that I do not know. They're talking about a Jesus story in it. They say, priest, you want to stop playing that idiocy, man, about Jesus story. You are just what you say, having thing and faith. But faith can be blind, fool. These people, there must be some idiots. Well, they are anyway. So they, in your blindness, you believe in this Jesus thing that ungodly man are telling you about. You know what I mean? But they are not godly, are they? Because they do not know what is right and correct. You understand? They are what we call masquerading. You know what I mean? Playing on your emotion, sending you on pilgrim. You know what I mean? Telling you that Jerusalem is the holy land. You know what I mean? It's not the holy land, it's the unholy land, if there was ever such a thing. Jerusalem would be the unholy land. All they ever do over there is kill and murder people for about, I don't know how long, the last 2,000-3,000 years. Pure war, pure kill. And it hasn't stopped people in modern times. So why would one of the places where war is always going on be so holy? You know what I mean? And you have a planet here. Why would God want to pick a little one spot to be holy? Why not make the whole planet holy, innit? So wherever you are, you're on holy ground. Yeah? But no, you make some little nincompoop, I say, tell you that so you hear that Jerusalem is holy, innit? And now you leave from wherever you are, going on pilgrim over there, sir, following Jesus' footsteps. Character, like I say, that never existed. And all the biblical, like I say before, prophets and whoever they are about, they cannot show none of their life or grave or anything, because they are fictitious characters, that's all, made up. But you swallow it up, innit? Because they put it to you. Deceptive people, like I say, like to use books to buffoon people. So they just come with this book and tell you that, oh man, this is divine revelation, man. Not divine revelation, divine nonsense. Understand what I mean? God doesn't send no prophet. Don't need to send any prophet, because God is in his creation, innit? If any fool come to this planet and live life and don't know God, that is the fool problem. And about God send prophets. For what? What does prophet know that God cannot do himself? So why would God need God is here talking to everyone if they're listening. Why would he want to send a messenger if he's already talking to you himself? The terrible and dreadful one, you know. You are the one who is not listening and keep rambling and about, oh, God said his prophet and Jesus his son. But all that is just, like I tell you, made up stories. Fancy of lunatic's imagination, I say. So yes, all them priests, all them in the Roman Catholic Church, Church of England, Baptist, whoever Mormon, yeah, the whole of them are devilish beings, satanic forces. The congregation might be, like I said, they work on the emotions, so they are emotionally unstable, they cannot judge them proper. So they don't know that who is leading them are satanic beings, vampires. But it's obvious to anyone who is awake that these are vampires. And that if you don't get rid of these kind of souls, the world will never change. Because they are hand in hand with the system. They bless the system. If you are going on, you see the Pope, they bless whatever wickedness that was ever going on in the world by the West. The Pope bless it. And if Islam or whoever is fighting the Imam, them bless it. Whoever is fighting them, bless it. They are satanic beings. You don't understand. You know, they are the one who is running the system. Their part is to keep your mind dumb. And it doesn't matter to them if you are in Christianity or Islam or whatever you want to claim. Because any one of them you are in a box anyway, innit? Like I tell you, I know the devil himself, the supreme one. That this, you know, they are following negativity because they choose it. But I know the negativity that don't take part in negativity. The supreme master then. If you know what I mean. Yeah? So it's not the supreme master negativity who has forced them into doing any wrong. It's them who choose to do it. You understand? So they are following their own devil. Now it is the supreme master himself, I'm telling you, Satan, who has taught me that they are devils. Because he knows them best, innit? Satan know the devils himself the best. And I study under Satan as well. Don't just study under God. You know what I mean? So Satan has identified those who choose to follow his vibration, if you know what I mean. Because that's what they love. He doesn't desire it for them, if you know what I mean. Because he cannot desire anything for an next being. That being must desire it themselves. Because this is what he's teaching me. And it's true. You see what I mean? Because Satan cannot lie either. So what he's saying is, all those priests that you are seeing on the earth who set up religion, they are following my way. Well, not my way, their way, because they are the one who choose to be like that. You know, I put out the negativity, and they love that. That's what they choose. You know what I mean? So that's how come I am confident and will bet against all of their souls as well that they are working. The devil follow the negative way, because I know the negative one himself, Satan. Yes, man. I mean the high general himself, you know, Satan himself, you know. The one that tempted all beings from within. Himself, the high general. Whether the being is living in this time or any time before. You see what I mean? No matter how long the time was. This one was there tempting him. Supreme Dandada. Bad boy. Yeah, well, I study under that one as well. Student, man. Yeah, see, I have to be a student of both. You can't just study God alone, you know. God is very, yeah, study German, yes. But then you have to know about the terrible and dreadful one himself, Satan, the High Master. And you have to, if you want to know wicked man to a depths, or to identify them, then you must study with the Master himself, the Master of deception himself. If you know what I mean. It's not that the Master of deception is taking part in deception, you know. He just knows everything about deception. Yeah, man. So all you have to do is go and ask him and he'll tell you. Or identify those who are that way. So when you finish studying under him now, all the wicked you can identify them. I can identify all of them. So that's what I'm telling you. All these goons you see dressing up in church, and they are imam and they are rabbi and they are whatever they're going on about. The whole bunch of them are lost souls. deluded human beings. And when I say they're lost, they're not lost to the extent that they don't know what they're doing. They are well organized. These religious bodies to keep your mind dumb. You need to break through this shackle. But because they have emotionally, they've gripped you emotionally. You see how emotional religious people can get. If you just say the wrong thing about one of their superstars, if in the wrong place, they will kill you. You know that, don't you? If you should say the wrong thing about Jesus or Muhammad or the Buddha, depends on where you are, these people kill you. Because the religion got them in the grip of emotion. And when you are in the grip of emotion, you are not in your right mind anyway. You will do all kind of crazy, ridiculous thing. You know what I mean? You might even think that you're going to, whatever the wickedness that you're doing is all martyrdom. If you know what I mean. Because religion have a way of whipping up people's emotion. If you know what I mean. And so convince them that, yes, man, after you kill off everybody, man, God will be there waiting for you, man, with a harp and all them things. Everything will be rosy on the other side for you. You see what I mean? I think really, whenever religion, you cannot get more fervent in the emotional than when religion grip you. But after when the vampires inject you with their vampiric emotions, or you will do anything for the vampires. But mind you, more or less become a vampire yourself. No, and you're willing to suck on the blood of others. You know what I mean? You're willing, like I'm saying, that we come out of the jungle and these vampires bring us here as slaves, yeah? Torment us now and have us here. We make an effort to escape now. And you are convincing us now, no, don't escape, we should be vampires as well. And you are there now supporting the vampires. You know, bringing the vampire message to me about Jesus. Jesus is here to save me. Can't you see that is vampire business, brethren? They even perform the vampire activity in front of you by eating the brethren body and drinking the blood. They tell you to do that. So you eat the body of Christ and drink some blood. And you still accept that idiocy into your mind. Because some people say, oh, have you ever heard this term? You are emotionally bankrupt. Must be that. You must be emotionally bankrupt. So you cannot emotionally then remember what happened to us and how we come to be in this diaspora, so them call it out in the West. That it don't look as if that register in your gene pool. Maybe when you go to school they never educate you about such matters, and when you was walking about on the street with the other jungle people, them you never discuss such thing as to how we managed to be out here, and you never hear it once that it was true slavery. Why we happen to be out here in the Western Hemisphere in the numbers that we are. And when you did hear it, maybe it never stir up any emotion within you, if you know what I mean. Because some people don't have no emotion in it. Maybe your emotions are stirred in the wrong direction. You see what I mean? So you see, emotion can be a good thing still. Because I wouldn't say such emotion was bad. Such emotion is good. Such emotion can help you swim stronger. When you remember where you coming from and that, yes, I am a swimmer, if you know what I mean. Because that's the whole idea now, you see. You're going to remember that, yes, I am a swimmer. So as for me now, I can remember that, yes, I was a swimmer. I could swim before anyone. We were swimming in Africa a long time before any Muslim come about or any Christian. I don't need them to swim. And like I say, to me, sometimes you get disease, germs, you know what I mean? Those things are germs, are disease to the minds of Africans. Anyway they are. No, you don't like that one. But like I tell you, the truth hurt. If you are an African, what we call African, from that, the dark continent, Congo style, yeah? If you are from there, and you was born there, or you was born outside of the diaspora due to the slavery runnings, yeah? And you are a Christian, you are suffering from a disease. A germ has infected your African selfhood. If you are a Muslim, you are suffering from another disease, another germ that is deadly to thy psyche. Because that is not an African thing, is it? Neither cure. And if you are following anything that is not conceived by us Africans, then ourselves, you are suffering from a disease. So only those who can think outside of those. Like I say, if you are a Muslim, you have a disease, you are sick. Because as far as an African is concerned, because you are no longer African, you don't belong to the family anymore, yeah? You belong going in the desert with the Arabs. That's who you're honoring, innit? That's your ancestor. You go in the desert. And then you like to follow Jesus, yeah? I think them say the brethren, the lie when them tell you say is over Jerusalem. You go and walk the street of Jerusalem, because that is not inside of Africa either, is it? So you should get out, go over there and say, go on, you know? But this same way, it's no joke at all. Any being who is like that will never know themselves. You can't. Because you're following an idiotic business in it, a lie. You've been deceived by the lie. You see, led away from yourself by a deception. Satan lead you astray. I have told you before, like you can understand. I know the High General, he's running all the churches and mosques and temples. He run them. And all those people in there, and there is, what you call it, control. Officially. Masquerading as God people, although, you know what I mean? That's why we have them, that's why the devil let them look so decent and build big building. But their heart are corrupted, they're devilish beings. All of them. Why would I want to tell a lie and my brothers anyway? Because my brothers who was turned devilish. I am not speaking out of hate. No, you know, like say, oh, I hate, so I'm just is this a devil? This has got this no hate. These are my brothers, the same brothers that I'm telling you are vampires. It's only that they choose to be wicked and evil. I never force them to do it. I am just identifying them, like I'm saying, because I know the devil himself, the High General. And he knows all of these who run things on earth. And he tell me that all those who are running things are well in the system. If you know what I mean, of devilism. This is their desire. That's why I give it to them. Did he have a choice? The devil let me know that I never had a choice in this. They desired it. I mean, it's just the same thing. If you desire something desire what is right from God, that's what you get. He said these souls desire wickedness, blood, lie, hate, greed. So I give it to them. And they set up and run things. They desire to be religious, hypocrites. So I give that to them. So they set up hypocritical religion. Which is, the devil say it looks good, but it's rotten to the core. You know what I mean? Well, I reckon I know that one before the devil tell me. Or did the devil tell me? I don't remember. I'm sure I know that before, because I study under God, didn't it? God introduced me to the devil, by the way. The real devil I'm on about, High General, you know? You have to know God to know this. The highest form of Satan, then. If you know what I mean. Hey man, highest form of Satan, very funny guy, man. Because he doesn't care, you know, when you reason, he tell you, and you just say, yeah man, I have all those are under the influence, man. No, They are not under the influence. Easy to identify those who are under the influence of devilism. Yeah? So, no problem with the, like I'm saying, the religious people. They are definitely 1,000 billion trillion % devil worshippers. Nothing to do with God. They just pretend with elaborate building. So humanity, you have to see through this idiotic business. But because of your emotion now, they trap you into Catholic, so when you say, oh, I'm a Catholic, you feel emotionally tied up, and if anybody say anything about the Pope, you're ready to kill. So you have to free yourself from that idiotic emotion. Whatever religion the devil have you trap in. You understand what I mean? Emotionally bound, so that they get you easy to go and kill your fellow religious man on the grounds of whatever they are telling you when they whip you up emotionally. But that's what I'm saying. Beings must be devilish if they're trying to whip people up emotionally. For what reason? Yeah, for what reason, right, would you want to whip up your fellow human being emotionally now? Especially from a religious point of view. You know what I mean? That is not necessary. You know? But like I'm saying, these religious, vampires like to feed off blood in it. And the emotion is like blood to them. So the more beings they can gather and have them in the emotional electricity, the more they can feed off this the emotions. Like I'm saying. You know what I mean? So we have to get a grasp of our emotion, balance it out, emotionally, so that we can be a whole being. When we are whole, we are able to see and understand. Because when we are whole, it's like we give birth to the new, I'll call it a new understanding then, instead of a new baby. When you unite within yourself, you create a new character, new person, new being. That's the one I call the virgin birth. So now you can see and understand what is going on in life. You don't have to believe, you will know things. Your own experience will show you that is how it goes, and you will be quite happy with that, innit? Like I say, you don't have to baffle yourself. Those who don't baffle yourself about how God works, because that would simply be like baffling yourself if you come into the world and be trying to figure out how the light works. You don't have to really. If the light is working already, you just do what you have to do. So don't baffle yourself about how God works. You are in life. Just live honestly. Innit? Don't be like these people. No wonder they never find out. Trying to explain how things start, when it started, who started, who was the first man here. You don't know. It's not your business anyway. And why should any being care? This is thousands upon thousands, some thousands of years away from your range. Nothing to do with you. So you don't have to be worried about how it starts, when it starts. But you're doing it though. And when you spend time trying to, it's like chasing a shadow. You won't know yourself then, because you're chasing the shadow. You see how easy people can last there and get emotional. You still have people writing books about Jesus and trying to prove that yes, he did went to France and later and he did go to the Gabon. I don't even know. I never heard anyone say he was in deep Congo, but maybe he did pass down there. I never seen him. You know what I mean? And maybe I should write my book now to explain away this thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll write a book explaining away this thing. That listen, For all the time that you've been reading about Jesus, you've been reading about a fictitious character. A character that was created by beings who are devils anyway, because I know the devil. And as far as the information that I received of the devil was that Jesus was an idea conceived of by beings who choose to do evil things. So, but they had to hide, they had to mask their evil behind a shining light. So they come up with this idea of Jesus. See what I mean? That's what the devil say, you know. And I think, because I know the devil well, I think I'm willing to bet my soul on it. That, yeah, man, that's how it went, man. And the devil say all of them are devils. It's a lie. They create this Jesus as a devil business, you know. And I am willing to bet my soul that the devil is telling the truth. That, yeah, man, these men are devils. And it was these same satanic vampirish beings, devils, that come up with the idea that Jesus was born of virgin. The devil said it's all a load of codswallop. And I agree with the devil totally. Fully. And you know what the devil is like? He's always out to deceiving people. Is that what you say? Well, the devil is not out to deceive no one. You deceive yourself. That's why they deceive themselves into devilism and create. The devil says they deceive their own self and create their own illusion to hide up what they hide, because he says devilish beings always have things to hide. And they have to hide it. What better way to hide it than behind what appears to be good, if you know what I mean. So he says all these fine beings that you see in the temples and the mosque and the churches and the priest that is well groomed and he's got his elaborate stick and his elaborate books and all the elaboration that you see about them is to hide their dirty deeds that they are performing behind the scene. So they like to deceive people by appearance. The devil says that's what wickedness do. Because he says if you see wickedness naked, it looks awful. You know what I mean? So he says wickedness like to garb itself in the finest linen, to masquerade itself. You know what I mean? And loves to feed off the emotion of others. You know what I mean? And draw them into the web of deceit. While I say trying to tell them or somehow convince them that it is leading them to salvation as it was. But wicked men, how could wicked and deceitful men know the way to salvation? They don't know anything about no salvation. Only thing they know about is to exploit and use and abuse. You know what I mean? It's been proven many times about these religious men, how many, the sexual weakness that is practiced amongst them and all these theatricity. I even see this week here the Archbishop of Canterbury was saying he was disappointed that women was not elected into the priesthood. And once again I'm saying, here these perverted men now, that they never allow women to be priests. As if, but the women are crazy as well, because these idiots are not God, are they? How can idiotic men decide when one should speak the truth? But because these women are just as stupid as them, you know, they are looking to them for some perverted sick, like I say, other devils, to give them the right to worship the devil. That's all they're doing in there. Satanic beings. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know why you want to be a priest in idiocy. Because no priest don't know the truth. So why would you want to go through this training to learn bullshit? You know, and the only thing you could do is when you join them and you realize that you joined the house of bullshit, is to come out. If the truth ever did dawn on you, you would escape. You wouldn't stay there, would you? Which intelligent being is going to stay amongst devils and hypocritical souls who have no intention of telling people the truth? They cannot do it because they don't know it. So you have to preach a little restricted teaching, innit? Teaching should be universal for all. So come you, if you're not Islam, if you're not Christian, if you're not Hindu, all those are boxes. Those teachings are not universal, are they? You have to deal with a universal thing. But the devil don't, well, the devil deal with a universal thing. Universal impartiality though, if you know what I mean. And yes, the devil, like I'm telling you, the devil is running all of the religion. He's in control of them. So it doesn't matter to the devil which one of them you join. Well, anyway, I've been suffering from a lot of cold over the Christmas holiday, and I'm feeling myself getting a bit stuffed up, and I've been rapping a while upon the emotional scene. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the emotions now for a while, see it, and then go and relax for a bit. You know, fire out from the firehouse, see it, fade in and fade out from firehouse.